We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed!
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger, and with me as always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
And intern back in the house.
Back again, Jack Hughes. Let's go. 10 million likes.
All because you're here, Jack.
Yep.
That's what's going to happen. So, it's going to be our review blowout for, what month is it? August,
yeah.
The end of August. So it's all of our August blowout reviews. But before we get into that, we go to Jeremiah.
Well, this is one that you should probably actually take from me because you're the one that chose this beer. You're the one that was all over it and said you wanted me to try it. But I'll do my best.
All right. I'll fill in after you're done.
Yeah. So it's 20 Corners Brewing. Autonomous IPA, 7.2%. And if you look down on the backside here, it's got quite a list of what they use. They're using 4 different malts in here and 5 different hops. So it's going to be pretty good medley, it looks like.
Yeah. I had this beer on tap, actually.
Okay.
At a local pub we got around here. And I was impressed with it because it was different and wasn't like anything I'd had before. I'm curious for you to try it and to see if you recognize the flavors that I recognized.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if the can will be different, actually.
Can should be closer to tap than bottles should, actually.
All right. I'm curious to find out that, too. I had it with Mac, who was on our last 2 episodes. Nice. I met him down there, and we had it, and he agreed that it had the flavors I thought. And we put some in a beer bottle.
What?
I mean, in a root beer bottle for Jack, because...
I don't know about that.
What are you drinking today, Jack?
Oh, God, what is it? Sioux City Sarsaparilla. I got it just because it said sarsaparilla.
Nice. That's actually one of the favorite meads I had last.
Yes, it was.
A sarsaparilla mead?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Which is an ingredient in root beer that I learned. I didn't really know that. I'm not a huge root beer fan, so... Yeah, smell it.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's very bready smelling.
Yeah. It's got a nice color.
Oh, it smells like root beer.
Little bit
some haze.
A little bit of haze, but not bad. Got a nice lighter kind of golden color to it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of grassy notes. God, it's like a very malty bread smell.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how it tastes. I would say when I drank it on tap, I really enjoyed it because it was different. I wouldn't say it was like my favorite beer ever, but I definitely went back and had a few more before they were gone because I just enjoyed its uniqueness.
Nice.
So let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
To all the nerds.
Through all the fuzz.
Bottoms up. Let's get Nerdbuzzed. Oh, don't be a dick.
I'm about to ruin it. Episode over.
Spread the love. Cut and then come back and Jack got.
Ooh. I talked about this last time. About the toothpaste taste.
You got that one, huh?
No, I didn't.
Oh, nice.
It smells more like a cream soda than a root beer, but it tastes like some high-quality root beer.
It almost has
How can it be high quality and cream soda? I just don't get it.
Go hand in hand. What's wrong with you, Jeremiah?
It almost has a toothpastey smell, though. A little bit more so. I had root beer 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I completely noticed the toothpaste flavor. I completely get what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
For all the
it does
crap
taste
I was
a little
giving
minty,
you.
but it's not like the bad type of mint.
Yeah.
Because there definitely is a bad one. I'm going to stop before I drink all that. That's pretty good.
That is different.
It's different, huh?
It's very different.
And this, I would say it's not... It has the flavor that I was...
It's closer to a red in its flavors.
It's not quite as strong as it was on tap. The flavor.
Okay.
That I noticed that was so different about it. Is there a flavor in there that you recognize at all?
Boy.
I think it's like the aftertaste.
It's, I'm just going to go with what I'm noticing. It's, it tastes almost as bready as it smells.
Yeah.
It's, definitely closer to a red than most of your traditional IPAs from what I'm tasting. I I really like the citrusy bite at the beginning. Traditional to your Northwest style IPAs. I have no idea where these guys are from, but
Right here, Woodinville.
Woodinville, Washington. All right.
Don't get much more Northwest than that.
No, you don't. But
It's not as strong as it was on tap. I'm a little bit disappointed in that, but it's still there. So when I had it, I definitely noticed, and I think it's a little more in the aftertaste in the can, but it has a very like earthy flavor to it. Mm-hmm. You notice that at the end?
Yes.
Like on tap, it was really close to almost like a green bean flavor. Like that earthy, like right out of the ground, which I know you're such a fan of, and I was wondering if you would notice that at all.
I do not taste green beans
Like
at all.
fresh green beans, not cooked or anything, or even almost like a snap pea or something. Like it's got that real earthy kind of, which I thought was really interesting. I've never tasted that really in a beer before. Now he's got it. Now that I put it, now that I planted the seed, right? Yeah.
Planted the green bean. Nope, that was bad. Okay.
Okay, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the joke master now. Watch out. Joke master.
Wow, that was-
Some scissors and a pen, and we'll
my
get
rap
some real
name. I
awesome
don't
jokes
know.
here.
That hurt. That hurt
Dude,
me.
you know what? You know what I love? I love the fact you kept it.
Yeah, it's still. I know. No, I know where it is. It's on top of my washing machine.
Are you gonna get it tattooed on you somewhere?
No, I'm gonna maybe I'll get a brand to just forever remember.
I'll help with that.
Awesome.
No.
Yeah.
Do it myself.
So we're gonna keep drinking it, and we got some more cans, and I haven't drank beer for like a good 20 hours.
Wow.
So I need to drink a couple cans of beer.
I was doing some bale breakers last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a bale breaker?
Nice. Educate the youth, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Bale Breakers is another brewery.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's the Eastern Washington Brewery. Got their top cutter IPA, and then I also had their bottom cutter, which is the India Pale Ale.
Ah, yes.
So yeah,
Love me some. Ales.
do you really?
Some sarsaparilla ales.
Sarsaparilla.
So, like I said, we're going to dive into a bunch of reviews. But first off, please shrink the screen, because I'm sure you have our beautiful faces on your full screen. Shrink it down. Hit like and subscribe. It means the world to us. And we sleep better at night. Please help us out. Like, share, subscribe. Go to patreon.com/nerdbuzz, and you can, for $35, get a swag bag. Get an awesome Nerdbuzz t-shirt that we're all modeling today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like we're
I only have a
almost
couple red
America.
ones. We are. We're very what was the word?
I
Patriotic.
guess that's
Patriotic.
gray. You ruined it, Jeremiah. You blew it. Red, gray.
I'm
and
so
blue.
glad I sit between you guys.
Yeah.
So, and Jeremiah's going to be Joe Cool the whole episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What you do regardless. But this one specifically because you have glasses.
And he probably doesn't know who Joe Cool is.
Probably
No
not.
idea. I thought that was just a dumb name.
Wow. Out
An awesome
door
name.
there.
Jack.
Joe Cool?
Yeah.
If I met someone named Joe Cool, I wouldn't talk to them.
You would be mesmerized and captivated. You
Like,
probably
maybe
just
if I
listen
met
to
someone
them.
named Iceman, I'd probably be like, okay, that's kind of cool. But Joe Cool, that's just...
Says the
name
guy
is-
that hadn't even seen it until last time you were here.
Well, Iceman sounds cooler.
It
That's
literally,
an
it does
X-Men guy.
sound cooler.
Yeah. No, Ice.
Joe Cool is also the Red Baron.
He is also the Red Baron?
Well, fights the Red Baron on his doghouse.
The Red Baron
Yeah.
flew like a dumb plane. So,
A dumb plane?
yeah, it doesn't even shoot rockets. It's just boop, 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 boop. It shoots in between the propellers. That's dangerous. That's dumb.
Wow.
Right? Wow.
I'm just being real.
Now's when we cut and
if
come
the
back
Red
and Jack's
Baron
gone.
Yeah.
flew, you know,
Jack
like
will just be all tied up, duct taped.
a fighter jet. If he flew a fighter jet, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
just do
and
it,
if
you
if
know,
you-
highway to the danger zone. But no,
I kind of feel like that the Red Baron was kind of like the Maverick of
Yeah.
that era, right?
definitely
Yeah.
more
Anyway,
kills.
we're gonna turn this way and continue
Yeah,
the
exactly.
episode. So first up, let's dive into our nerd play because we played. Yeah, right. Just keeping the themes going. We played Assassin's Creed: Freedom Cry,
Yep.
and you did because he's the rebel of the
Yeah.
show. It doesn't get anything, so
I
it
don't-
doesn't matter
I
anyway.
do what I want.
And I beat it. Did you beat it?
No.
It's not very long. It's pretty short.
I kept dying and kind of got pissed off and was like, screw this.
Yeah, I think there's a real running theme for how I feel about everything we're going to review today.
All right.
And we'll just, right? How often is that? And I love it when that happens, though, because it's unplanned.
Yeah.
So he says.
Yeah. But I think it's an Assassin's Creed game. I think if you enjoy Freedom Cry it in the slightest, then it's worth it for you to play Black Flag, because I think Black Flag is such a better representation of this game, right? Like in Freedom Cry, everything is so instantly happening. It's like this big glorified demo with zero tutorial.
Yeah.
That was like a big complaint I had.
That was the hardest thing. You telling me how to aim was the biggest help, and then then it became like way simple easy.
Yeah. Well, and I had that issue with it too. Like suddenly you have like the best sword, suddenly you have the best gun, suddenly your ship is stacked out. It's totally like this demo where you just get everything maxed.
I did enjoy the sea battle stuff though.
And that
was awesome.
That's where Black Flag is actually really cool, because you more have to start out with just this little piddly boat and really grind and build your way up to making your boat awesome. And it doesn't happen in these leaps and bounds like that.
Okay.
So it's way more satisfying. And the map in Freedom Cry is that little teeny square, right?
Yeah.
You can zoom the map out, and there's got to be like, I don't know, like 30 times that or something. There's tons of little islands and places to see and all sorts of stuff to explore.
Yeah.
For Black Flag or Freedom Cry?
For Black Flag. Freedom Cry is like one of the teeny little squares on the Black Flag map.
Oh.
So, which I loved about Black Flag. It's got a huge map, and you can totally sail to anywhere in it.
And it didn't feel like all the collectibles. It didn't feel that kind of useless, because some of them were in kind of it made you want to explore all the islands more, because some of them were just uninhabited.
Yeah.
And you'd go and you'd be like, oh, I found a box, but also I got to explore this cool island, and just instead of just having to run around some dumb city like in all the other ones.
Yeah.
Where all the collectibles just felt, I don't know, you didn't really want to go there because there was nothing new. It was all the same place, kind of. But in Black Flag, at least you got to go to all these cool little islands and just explore around and go in caves or whatever.
And you got to fight the cool ghost ships. I thought that was loads of fun.
The 4 ships on the corners of the map, that was really cool.
Black Flag's flag
Flap
is definitely better. Yeah. So
Wow. You sure spent 20 hours.
Yeah. So I don't know that this is like a must play. I think it's awesome we got it for free. And actually this month, the Black Flag game, the deluxe edition, was on sale on the PSN for like $19 or something. So I went ahead and got it again. It inspired me to play that original one again. So I did some of that, and it is better.
Well, the only Assassin's Creed I have experience with is 2.
Yeah.
Before this, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like a very long time ago.
And that's where you're more stuck on the one island.
Well, you're stuck in one city, I think.
Yeah. And I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed games. It's an Ubisoft thing. I'm not the biggest fan of Ubisoft. That's what it boils down to.
The first one was just it's garbage. And I don't care. Everyone's like, first one's the best one. It's like, well, then I don't want to play any of the other ones. That is the best that has to offer. Because it was really glitchy. And I'd try and go up behind people, and they just turn around and be alert. I'm like, what is happening? It made everything more confusing and harder than it had to be. None of the targets felt, I don't know. I was like, I guess I'll kill you because the game says to, but it's not like I feel, like, oh, I want to kill you. It's like, fine, whatever. Like in Dishonored, you guys ever played that?
Yeah.
I have not.
Super awesome. You totally check it out.
First person, right?
Yeah. But in that game,
it's okay.
Okay.
You learned a lot about your target, and you could like go on these little kind of recon missions and learn all this really valuable stuff about like. And there were a lot of ways to dispose of them because you're an assassin, but you can also play through the game without killing or alerting a single person, and that's really cool. And in Assassin's Creed, it was just like gotta kill the guy, and then you like cradle them in your arms, and they're like, "I'm so sorry for being a bad guy," and you're like, "It is okay. I will let you die now," and you like lay him down. And I'm like, what? What is happening? This is dumb. And then all the sections where you're outside of the Animus was just boring.
I don't get that. Why can't they just drop that part of the game already? Just get rid of the stupid Matrixy portion
the
of the
Templars
game.
are coming. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either. I just want to be the cool game guy, the assassin, and run around and be a badass. I don't care about the Matrixy part. I think everybody gets
and it's
it.
They
don't care.
It's a dumb explanation. Like it's like they're trying to make it sound all sciencey. It's like, no, that's not how. No, just don't. they wouldn't have to explain how the animus works if they didn't have it. If it was just like,
Yeah.
you are this guy. Like, why does it have to be you are this guy remembering this other guy's life?
It's
'Cause
how
that
it's
works.
how you have the it's how you have the rebooting lives. How you can die and come back again.
Okay, I guess that's
I guess. But
I think that's a great explanation for why you can die and come back.
yeah, but
again.
every other game you die, you could come back again.
Yeah, but this one actually makes sense as
maybe
to
I
why.
don't
I guess.
know, God,
I hate that part of it though.
Isn't there a whole thing about the apple of Eden and God in like the third one?
I don't know. I've not
don't
played the
remember.
Did you not hear me that the only one I've played before this
Oh, yeah.
was 2?
Oh, never mind. Disappointed. No,
Well, maybe you should listen.
Yeah. So glad I sit between you guys.
yeah, no, but I had more words on why I don't like Assassin's Creed, but it's just a dumb Ubisoft game, and it's just this bland formula. The only one that
It's
really
an
shook it
Ubisoft
up,
game. That's like all you have to
was
really say.
Black Flag, and that was cool because it had the ships, but then that kind of got old for me, and I didn't really want to. Most games, even if they're not the best, I will want to platinum. I didn't want to platinum Black Flag, so that's saying something.
Well, and I think there's every single character in all of the Assassin's Creed games are way overzealous about being super parkour guy. Like sometimes I just want to sprint, and I don't necessarily want to jump up and run along the little handrail next to the building that then forces me to climb up on the roof. And like I just want to run.
Yeah.
And it, like he's very anything I can parkour on, I'm gonna do it. I can't tell you how many times I was running from the other pirate guys and just like running and jumping off this building over and over because the gap I wanted to run to was like just this hair away from the wall. But he
yeah.
just kept doing this little sprint on the wall, and then the guys would tackle me and kill me.
Nice.
And it's like just quit being so obsessed with it. I
mean,
you
yeah,
clearly can't grab anything there.
In Prince of Persia, it was a lot more. It was easier to do that.
Which one?
I guess I only played the original ones.
The PC
first.
one?
Not the original.
No, no. Okay, sorry. Yeah,
Because that was a lot of fun. I really liked that one, by the
He
way.
played those from the womb.
those ones. I can't even. Those ones sucked. Or the original one. It was
Wow,
so hard.
dude.
No,
Your perspective is
you
way
would-
skewed,
you
man.
would
I'm sorry.
slide, You would stop and you'd kind of like slide, and your jumping no. The Prince of Persia's on the PS2. It felt a lot easier to be like, all right, I'm in parkour mode now, and now I'm in regular mode. Because I think you might have had
Sands
to.
of Time. You're talking about Sands of
you
Time.
might have, didn't you have
Which
to
was an
press a
awesome one.
button
It is an awesome
to
game.
run on the wall, or was it just
Yes, you did have to press a button to run on the wall.
So like,
Yeah.
if there was a parkour button, that would be cool.
It would be a lot better if there was a sprint button versus a parkour button.
Yeah.
For sure.
And in Infamous, I guess you're kind of slow in Infamous, unless you have your powers. I felt like it was a lot cooler in Infamous too. I felt a lot more like awesome, just running up stuff and down the street.
Even in Second Son, which I really think feels like a first wave game, that game is so much more polished than Assassin's Creed.
oh yeah, and it's so much shorter. I mean, I think the best part about that game is the graphics, the looks. I think that's what they spend the most time on, because probably they had to make a system seller like, look at how cool beautiful this game is.
Yeah.
But it just feels.
They dropped a turd of a story, but it looks cool. It did look cool.
It felt more convenient to move around, especially with the powers and how they. But in Assassin's Creed, it's like.
It's Ubisoft. I think
Yeah.
all you have to do is say that Ubisoft made it. They make such weird half-ass games that are like, they're really cool concepts and there's so much potential there, but then they just drop a turd. It's what they continually do. Yeah. So, if I have to review this one, it's hard to do because I actually really enjoy Black Flag, and I think it's a great game. If you're going to play Assassin's Creed, that's the one to play. This is... You can skip this one.
Well, it's an expansion to it.
Yeah, and you don't need it. It's not. It's an abridged version of it, is what it is. This is the Cliff Notes of Black Flag. That's
if
what
you
this
like
game
it,
is.
probably
If you like
pick
it
that
at all and it interested you, any part of it you thought was fun, it's so much more fun in Black Flag. Black Flag fleshes out the game so much more and feels more rewarding when you earn things, and it's just way better.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
I'm gonna give this. I'm just gonna give this one a straight 5. It's just okay.
Wow. I was going to give it a 6.
All right, well, we're not that
Better
far
than
off.
okay.
Give Jack a pen. Where's this pen? It's in the cup right there. There you go. Earn your keep.
It's shiny.
Yeah. So, and as far as our next nerd play, we won't know until the day after this episode comes out. So I'll post what it is.
All right.
We'll banter and chat, and we'll get Jack in on it. He's going to play it this month.
I'll do it. What am I playing?
Whatever the next nerd play is.
Okay.
It'll be one of our PSN
Yeah,
games.
just force me to.
And they all seem to be like, because Assassin's Creed's coming out, right? So we got this. The new one is, And so I think that they're kind of themed around that. And I can't remember if we've had was Shadow of Mordor ever a free game?
I was just about to say that. I don't think it is.
I'm wondering if that'll be next
No.
month. Was it ever a free PS
I
Plus
don't know
game?
because
I don't
I
remember
have
being-
Shadow of Mordor and I don't remember buying it. But my dad might have. Might have been a long. No, because it came
That's like
out.
big props for your dad.
Yeah. He'll just
I
buy
like that he
games
just
sometimes.
yeah.
No, yeah, it could be Shadow of Mordor. I'm really excited for.
I'm super excited for the
pretty
next one.
excited for the new one.
I'm anticipating a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. I'm just throwing it out there. I wouldn't be surprised. If
I
that
still
was a
have.
free game.
I still have it. I bought all the expansions. I didn't beat them all yet because I got kind of bored.
You didn't platinum it? No. Wow.
No, wait. I might have platinumed it, but I don't think I played all the expansions and got all the stuff. I'm pretty sure I platinumed it.
I don't know if I can believe you now. You might have to go home. You got new homework. Write that down.
I'll
Do
download the
homework.
PlayStation app right now. We'll see about this.
So the other thing we did this month that we get to review, that Jack is dying to review. This is his
God.
new favorite show. He can't wait for the sequel to come out.
Nope.
It's Defenders, which you look at his face. He's just chomping at the bit to talk about it.
I love it.
So who wants to go first on the Defenders?
I already have my list pulled up.
All right. Wow.
I know
The
I got a list
Defenders.
here.
He's prepared.
I broke mine up by episode even, which they do not have enough time to dive into every episode.
I'll go a little fast so you can try and do it a little bit. Part 1 on why Okay, the tones not only clash in the show, but they even separate heavily from the dark tone of Daredevil and Jessica Jones. The two reasons most people are even watching the show. Because Daredevil was the first, and he made it, I think, super popular. And Jessica Jones, or like with the dark tone, right? Like, I think that really popularized the Netflix TV shows and separated them from all the movies because it's like, oh, it's something different. It's darker, it's grittier, it's cooler, right? And the whole time, I don't know, Stick was like, a war's coming. And I'm like, oh my god, a war for New York. That's going to be the coolest thing. It's going to be like 1,000,000 ninjas. Everyone's going to die, right? No, it wasn't. Okay, so Nobu, I know I'm kind of ranting off, but I'm so angry. Nobu, the guy that constantly just beat the crap out of Daredevil, was the disciple of one of the fingers of the hand, of which there are 5. And, oh god. And none of which are supposed to be more powerful than Elektra. Yet somehow the entire show, they could all take on like one guy and just all the hand would just die. The only person that was even a little bit powerful was Elektra. And even then, like, she would knock people out. She would never kill them. Like in Daredevil, when he fought Nobu, Nobu got him in the side with his hook, and then he beat the crap out of him, and it took him, Elektra, and Punisher to take him out in Daredevil season 2. And like, even then he still survived, and Stick had to like cut his head off. There's all this stuff just for that one guy, yet somehow they can just annihilate the hand. And they do it like in every episode of the show. And I'm
Okay,
made
can
me
we
mad.
agree that please let the hand be dead,
die.
right?
Yeah.
Like, don't bring the hand back. Don't. They're gonna bring Elektra back because she's Elektra, and I think that has to happen. But the hand can die. Please let the hand die.
That's actually my second point. The hand
You
is
know-
dumb and overplayed.
You know, Madame Gal's coming back though.
I know. Which she's actually one of my favorites
Yeah.
from the hand, for sure.
She's overplayed, though, I think. Yeah, okay, the only time they posed an inkling of a threat was in Daredevil, and when they were on an exponentially small scale. They can cause earthquakes. And like, I'm like, oh, that's a lot of power. That's really cool. And they never did it again. They never even posed as much of a threat. They're like, oh, we're going to fight you in a restaurant, or in a building, or in a hole. And it's like, well, that's dumb. I don't care. Die. This is just a random thing, but whoever directed the dialogue interactions needs to be fired. So the camera angle would switch constantly, right? So it'd be here, looking at, say, if it's you guys talking, it'd be here, then it'd be here, then here, and then it'd be all over the place.
No, see, that's something that I appreciated because if you looked at the way that they cut and the way they moved it, they were cutting a lot of the dialogue and a lot of the camera scenes to fit the style and the cut of each of the characters that were in it.
Yeah.
So if you looked at because every show had a distinct style that it was shot in, and a lot of the way that they did the cuts, especially when they did the roundtable cuts and stuff like that, and or when they were separate, they hadn't come in together as a team yet. Every time you were watching them as their separate group before they came together, it was shot and done in the style that each one of their shows was done.
I think I'm talking about a different thing. I'm talking about like just two people talking, like Matt and Karen in the first episode. It would just constantly be like here, now it's here, now it's here, and for no reason. And Daredevil, they usually do it where it was like two people talking, and for the most part, it would just show those two people in the camera.
Or you might get the two angles where it was like the one guy and then the other.
Yeah,
guy.
or it might be that every once in a while to like emphasize. Like I'm not a film. I don't care about movies, but somehow this bothered me. So that means
clearly
that means they're doing a bad
Everything
job.
bothers this kid, though.
Apparently.
And also, what would happen is they would shoot it would be two people talking, but they would cover like half of the shot. Almost every time it was something glass. So like a bottle or a plate or something. And so then you'd have to be forced to look off a tiny corner of the screen where the two characters were, and then suddenly it would be really close to them. I'm like, stop. That's not I'm not a film student. I'm not like a film critic, but I don't
know. After today.
This is elementary things they're failing at. Also, whoever directed the action and want to smash something. Whoever directed the action scenes needs to be fired. Okay, it was because in Daredevil they were so cool because it was like long takes.
Yes,
and
as one of my major complaints about Defenders was the action cuts.
Yeah,
it's very. I feel like the Defenders in general is again we're running with the theme, right? With the Freedom Cry, it's the abridged version of all the other shows. It really is. Everything's so condensed and so rushed and compacted. And they're for such stupid reasons.
But unlike Jack over here, I did like the dialogue scenes.
I thought between certain characters, I thought it was awesome.
Whatever. Okay, point is, we can at least agree on the action.
Oh yeah.
It was so shaky, and it felt more like Iron Fist than anyone, and much like Iron Fist, he never used his fist.
What is with his performance issues? Right?
He's
totally Spider-Man 3.
I don't care. I don't care about your chi Iron Fist. Punch someone. Kill someone. I do not care.
Wow.
There were a couple really, really cool parts.
I was just going to say, what's a good thing you liked from the show?
When he punches Luke Cage, it's like, boom. That was cool.
That was pretty cool.
Or like, that's the only really cool action scene I can think of.
That was it?
Like, I mean, I liked Stick. We can talk about spoilers, right?
Yeah, I think
liked
it's
Stick
fine.
until he died. I was like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, but actually, I'm okay with that because I want Stick to also go away, because I think he's such a like root tie-in part of the hand. If he sticks around, the hand will never go away.
Sticks.
Yeah,
around.
like it. That was subtle, but I'm glad you picked up on it.
Yeah, I guess I understand that because
I want the hand to go away. They really, really have to be done with them now. Yeah. But I'm glad that I really thought that there were some awesome parts about the show. I totally agree with you that this is not the Netflix show that anybody needs to watch right out of the gate. Please watch the Daredevils. Please watch Jessica Jones.
Yes.
Watch them in order because I really think they kind of build their world really well and they build the pace and the feel of the shows.
At least Daredevil does. Or in Jessica Jones.
Yeah. Well, I really think Luke Cage, I think, is where it starts to change. But I actually kind of like Luke Cage also.
Luke Cage a lot.
It's so stylized to be Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to appreciate that. Like, I personally enjoy the darker tones more, but the fact that Luke Cage had this really unique and original tone was awesome. But Iron Fist was just like...
Okay, Iron Fist sucked.
He was like a CW show. It was just a CW show.
I would rather watch some of those CW shows.
Oh, God.
It's a toss-up for me between Legends of Tomorrow and Iron Fist, which is saying a lot.
Oh my God, that is awful.
That's how bad Legends of Tomorrow and Iron Fist are. Like, to compare them to each other is horrible.
I don't know.
I would rather watch Arrow or Flash than Iron Fist.
You want to know what really bugs me about Legends of Tomorrow? They have all these scientists, and I ranted about this in school a couple times, but it was like, they'd be like, we gotta connect the quantum fluctuator to the tachyon emitter to rationalize the Q outputs, and they're like, but that could destroy the whole ship, and it's like, that's not science. If you say big words, you are not smart.
That's a whole nother episode to rant about Legends of Tomorrow.
I could write a whole thing. I'll just write all the dumb, not science things they say. They literally, Captain Cold's gun shoots absolute 0 temperatures, and somehow it doesn't kill people. And Heatwave's gun, or is that his name?
I think so, yeah. Who's my favorite person in that show?
His gun,
he's the best.
Apparently shoots absolute hot, and that's a thing. It is the hottest anything can get. It is hotter than the sun. And I'm like, how can a gun shoot absolute hot? And if it shot someone with absolute hot, they wouldn't mildly set on fire. They would. Everything around you would just ash.
Become plasma.
Yeah,
Like a solar flare gun.
it would.
Yeah.
But like an actual like sun
flare.
like
Sorry,
the
yeah.
world would just die.
Did you do it like
Colin.
this?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, no, that was dumb.
But the good things, because I do think there were good things. It's like the Assassin's Creed again. There are gems in there, but it's so covered in turd.
I'm stewing in my own hatred. It's hard to think. You go some.
I think because we talked about, I think in episodes 1 and 2, it's really clear that they differentiated between the different heroes.
Even episode 3.
Even until episode 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Because at some point they all merged and they quit doing it.
Yeah.
And I was really kind of bummed when that happened. But especially for me, I noticed especially those first 2. Maybe 3 was when it happened.
Yeah.
Was that the round table sit down?
No, that was like episode 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after they got out of the building.
But if you go back and watch episode 1, when Daredevil's in it, everything's red.
Yeah.
And totally has this real ominous,
Yeah.
just like I'm
Yeah,
morally,
it's so clearly
spiritually
there.
weighted
I
Daredevil.
really appreciated that.
It was done really well. Jessica Jones, so blue and dirty and just gross, which was awesome.
And I think it's funny that they acknowledge, I need to go home and change my clothes.
Yeah, right?
It's been a week.
Yeah. That was great. They did acknowledge the classic cliches. Like
Saw the
even
holes in the wall.
one of my favorites was when what's Iron Fist's wears all the white, his Asian girlfriend, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but she even acknowledges that like one of the people's like the Hand is after us because Danny announced he's the Iron Fist or whatever, and that she even looks at the camera and goes, he does that every time.
I know.
And it's like, that was so cool because he's an idiot.
Yep.
He totally needs
Daredevil called him a child at one point, and I was like,
Yes. I did really like how Daredevil was clearly the guy that had more than one season of a show. He was the experienced guy. He'd been the hero longer. He already did his season 1 and season 2 because this was kind of like season 2 for all those other heroes.
Yeah.
And this was his Spider-Man 3 moment. Then he came out too.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it had cool parts. I really liked the banter between Jessica and Matt. I thought
They worked
when
really
they
well
were
together.
like solving they were kind of both went into their detective mode, lawyer mode,
Yeah.
and I thought they really worked well together. Luke Cage, I actually did kind of enjoy Luke Cage and Iron Fist at the table after when Jessica and Matt weren't there
yeah.
and they were together because they're both the idiot guys, kind of, right? And so they kind of bantered well with each other. But God, I hate Iron Fist. I hate him so much. I never imagined him to be a bumbling idiot in the comics. I always assumed he was
looked
this
so
really
cool.
stoic,
Like the
wise
headband.
guy. He had really few words to
No,
say,
he's just
but
a
what he
wise guy.
said mattered. Yeah, now he's just a wise guy idiot.
What really bugged me is he's like Marcus said. I never noticed it until Marcus said he's like, I'm the immortal Iron Fist. He says that all the time.
Yes.
All the
he
time.
goes into like
Here's my business card.
Enterprises.
Yeah, he needs a
walks up
business
to
card.
his secretary and's like, the Hand is chasing us. I'm the immortal Iron Fist. She's like, okay. I'm like,
For the mystical land of Kuglog.
and he just says that to random people, and I'm like, oh my god. It's
I love that his girlfriend called him on it. That was
Yeah.
that whole scene made me laugh so hard. I thought it was really good.
it bugs me a lot that he just does that. And he
Me
kept
too,
telling
I hate it.
Random people about the Hand. It's like the Hand is supposed to be a super secret organization. If they weren't, the Avengers would have taken him out. Right?
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just,
It's really overall I didn't think it was all that good.
No.
But it had these moments that I actually really enjoyed. And
I was like, what it did a lot of like what with the remake of Ghost in the Shell did. They had these moments
yeah.
of pulling from like with the Ghost in the Shell, pulling from the anime, pulling from this like, all right, they're gonna do it. They just just fizzles out.
I
They
know.
don't quite finish
So
it.
close.
Yeah, and like with the second to last major fight scene, so with the second to last episode, the way it was cut, the way it was going, everything was looking so awesome. And then it just done.
yeah.
No, we need to take this through a corridor and down through the stairs and out the door and and have it end badly for everybody.
Yes. I really want it. It made me come away thinking the only way that Defenders is okay, and I give it a pass on all these things, is if they wrap up Luke Cage as deciding whether or not he's going to be a hero. He's out of prison now. He's set in stone as that hero guy, right? okay, I accept it for that. They needed this transition to happen to make that happen for him.
Yeah.
They needed it to happen for Matt. He's decided to be Daredevil now. He's going to get rid of all of his moral issues and just be that guy now. Hopefully. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to him with all that. And Jessica is still totally Jessica. She was actually pretty awesome through the whole thing. I really enjoyed it. I wish she was a little more powerful. Like, I really thought she was...
Dude, she caught an elevator.
Underplayed. That's true. She had really powerful moments, but there were, like... I just kind of wish there was more of her, like, punching somebody and they would just, like, launch across the screen and fly through a wall.
I did
right?
think, yeah.
She would, like, get hit and then hit someone. It would be cool, though, if she would go into Daredevil and he would, like, teach her Kung Fu or some martial arts. Because the whole time she's like, I don't know martial arts. This sucks.
I love that about it.
Yeah, that was really funny.
I actually liked it, too.
But, I mean, that's...
The same way she has no hygiene, she has no fighting style.
See, that's where her power comes into play, though, is she can just brute force over it.
Yeah.
Everybody else needs the finesse, and she's like, yeah, okay.
which I did really appreciate. Again, it shows that Daredevil's been around longer, but he would have those really awesome moments where they would be being attacked by somebody, and like it was going to be this devastating blow, and all of a sudden that person would collapse to the ground, and the camera would pan up, and there was Daredevil who did it, right? Like he's just the badass guy, and I loved how they all commented on like he's blind, right?
Yeah,
it was like he says so.
Like,
right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. I thought that was all pretty. There were really great moments in it where they recognized each other. But I would love to see. Danny grow up, please. I was about to swear, and it would have been so worth it. But he needs to grow up. He needs to get over just being this child and being ignorant to everything. If he can grow up and actually work with Luke Cage, because I think some of those moments were kind of cool, I'd be fine with no season 2 Luke Cage or Iron Fist and just do a Heroes for Hire. Where it's just
that'd
them.
be cool.
Just
Yeah.
make them that team that they are in the comic books and make them be that group and just go together now, because I think they could kind of balance and carry each other a little bit. But so I don't know. We'd see. I'd love to see Matt and Jessica again.
I did like the scene where Danny was tied up and Luke Cage was there and the stick was in the back doing the drugs and
smoking it up.
Yeah. Stick is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I do think this was my favorite like stick moments was in the Defenders. He went out
by
with
far.
a bang for sure.
By far, I hated him in Daredevil.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I like how he just doesn't care about anything except for exterminating the Hand, kind of. And it doesn't do it in the Iron Fist where he's like, I gotta exterminate the Hand. He's just like, I'm gonna kill anyone I have to. Like, he almost killed Luke Cage.
Yeah.
And he doesn't make a whole big thing about it. He's just like, if you're gonna stop me, then you're gonna die.
Yeah. And he was such a badass after losing his hand for so long.
Oh, yeah, he just cuts
Right?
it off, and then he's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Daredevil doesn't even question him.
Well, you did see the Daredevil episodes where they were showing flashbacks of him training him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't care.
I don't know. I'm really curious to see what happens with it all after this. I think this was necessary to happen to get garbage out of the way, which is what the show was. And I'm curious to see if they grow from it afterwards. Because Daredevil, I thought this made it really clear that Daredevil grew from season 1 to season 2 to this now.
Yes.
So if it does that for all the other people, it's okay. And I'm willing to say it's fine and it served its purpose, but it better do that.
I was so hoping that you were right about what you said about the van,
I was really bummed.
and it didn't show it.
Yep.
That would have been.
I think that van was the same van all the guys with the guns
Yeah, I
came
think
out
so,
and
too.
attacked. But remember when Daredevil looked out the window and saw the van across the street at that
I was
the
so hoping
restaurant
that's what it
scene?
was.
And he's like, and it's loaded full of an arsenal and like guns and stuff. I really hoped that was the Punisher van. And it was just, that was it. They weren't going to mention it anymore. And it was that he was just watching what was going on. So in the Punisher series, he was going to be this guy that steps up, kind of like he did in Daredevil, and be like, you guys are all doing it wrong. Let me show you how it's done and just massacre everybody.
I thought you were going to say it was going to be the gun salesman guy. I'm glad he was in it.
Oh, yeah.
When Luke Cage was like beating him up. I love that guy so much. He just never gets anything like good happen to him.
Yeah, that's true. Every single scene
Yeah.
he's in is just him
Just getting beat up
just
by all
getting
the
the shaft,
superheroes.
right? Yeah. It had some shiny moments, but again, it's not super great. Nice.
Which, uh,
No, correct me if I'm wrong though. The director of the Punisher, or the director of Daredevil, will be the one that's doing Punisher, correct?
I'm not sure.
I hope so.
That'd be
Because
awesome.
that was so amazing. His presence. in Daredevil. So
I would hope so because it's almost like he was
that was almost
directing the
Shatner's.
Punisher there.
Shatnerish.
Yeah.
Like, his presence
So-
in Daredevil was amazing.
Yeah. And it would be great because he's already done it. I really think of Daredevil season 2 as the Punisher origin story. It's one of my favorites. It's done so well. I love that
I'm
they
so
addressed
excited
him
that
going
that's
to
coming.
going to trial and dealing with all that.
He was my favorite part of that season, other than the couple times they had Fisk.
I would say, I'm sorry, just Daredevil himself was awesome in season 2.
Oh yeah,
And with the Punisher, their banter together and their fight scenes together. I mean, it's so hard.
But then
to beat
after that,
season
everything
2.
just kind of. I think that's why I don't like Defenders as much, is because maybe if all the shows were on par with Iron Fist, I'd be like, it's all right. But
On Iron Fist,
Daredevil-
really?
Well, if they were all
yeah,
garbage,
if
it's
they
like
were
you
all
accept them
garbage.
as garbage,
because
right?
Daredevil season 2 was so good, and it just crashed and burned after that. And now seeing Daredevil in a show that's not good makes me mad.
Yeah, like they're dragging him down
Yeah,
with
I'm
him,
like,
right?
I want him to stay at that level. Don't
But
touch
again,
Daredevil.
he was already in that zone, right? Like Daredevil was already in the zone of not being nearly as cool. Like he was being a whiny little bitch, and he needed to just put the damn suit on and be awesome. And this gave him a chance to do that. And I think it gave all the other people a chance, but it was kind of crappy to watch that transition happen.
Felt like a long movie.
Yeah. Again, that's kind of a running theme I have with these. It's like this weird abridged trailer kind of thing almost that just leaves you on this like hyped edge of what is the real thing going to be that's coming up. The cool thing is right here around the corner, but you're not going to give it to me.
Okay, I'm going to be clear here, though. I don't think it's the greatest series that we've had for the Netflix Marvel series, but I don't regret watching it. I enjoyed watching it still.
Yeah.
Yes, there's problems with it all, but I still enjoyed my time watching it. I want that to be clear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I hated it. We're all sitting here bashing it really, 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 really hard.
I can't think
but-
of anything I really liked about it.
I think it had some really awesome
Yeah,
moments.
some
It really
moments.
did. And it was
Like,
great to see
It
the
answered
moments
some
happen.
questions. We get to see, well, we didn't get to see his mother, but we got to hear Daredevil's mother
Yeah.
name. So she actually did become a nun. I thought that was kind of ironic and funny.
Wait, what?
In Daredevil, he asked about his mom. She ran away and became a nun.
No, and you think that's what it was at the end?
I think so.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too. I didn't want to spoil too much of all that
Oh,
stuff.
I was
but-
last thing that was dumb. That they overplayed that he died. It's like he obviously survived. It would have been better if they just. It would have
It's
been
like,
better if they
Elektra, it's the
showed
same
kind of
way.
how we got out, and then like it would have been in the mix. It's like we miss him so much,
that
but it's like
that
him-
is something that I did think when I was watching that I would have liked to seen.
yeah.
But I'm betting that that's something they have banked up for the next season.
Yeah. Well, and even with like Misty Knight, right? So at the end of Luke Cage, we got teased where her arm was all beat up, and we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, she's gonna come back with robot arm." She didn't. I was kind of
No.
bummed in this, but now she has no arm.
Yep.
She has to come back with the robot arm.
Yep.
There's no choice now, right? She's
And-
gonna have her
Isn't
cool
she
robot
gonna
arm.
get, like, a
Danny
superhero?
Rand
Yeah.
and Danny Rand made the offer of, "Hey, I have all these super deals. This is my facility. I own
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I can hook you up with whatever you need."
Yeah. And so,
Iron Fist arm, so there shall always be the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
So,
Well, she would have to punch the dragon in the heart.
well,
but whatever.
her and what's her face, the daughter of the dragon, Danny's girlfriend. They're going to make the team that is Daughters of the Dragon, and in that team, Misty Knight has the arm. But at that point,
A robot arm.
yeah, it's like her
awesome.
cyborg arm, right? So this is all has to happen now. Because the other chick totally grew in this, and like I appreciate that part of it the most. That everybody really grew a lot during this show.
Yeah.
It's just too bad we had to watch those moments.
Too bad we.
They
had
were hard to
see
watch.
it.
Yeah. But I appreciate that happened. So I'm hoping that stuff's out of the way now, and now the ball can get back to being awesome.
But why did we not get to see what's her name with the claws? Because she totally took the claws at the end.
She kept touching him and noticing him, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She
I
had the
don't know.
double sword thing. I mean, that
No,
was
no, no,
cool,
no, no,
but-
no, not her. The nurse gal. Because remember she
I don't
stole.
know.
Remember at the end of
Oh, what did she take?
Iron Fist, didn't she steal the
Yeah.
claws? She took the claws. The
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nothing really came of that.
yeah.
I think Iron
Yeah,
Fist
I don't
just blocked it.
Yeah. Right.
Except for the weird brother that slowly like gets all gross and slams his hand in the car door.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was my favorite part. And
loved
I really
watching
thought he
him
was the best character.
fail.
Yeah. Well, and could you imagine being that guy, living with all the pressures he
Yeah.
had and everything? That guy was the saving grace of Iron Fist for me.
Yeah.
Totally was. So let's put a number on Defenders because that's our favorite thing to do.
I hate putting numbers on things.
I know, me too. It makes it so definitive, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it. It's really tough. I think I'm just gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 6 because there were things that happened in it that I think needed to happen, and I'm glad they're out of the way.
I'm gonna say I don't regret watching it. I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna give it a solid 7.
Okay, which is good.
Yep.
All right. Well, I mean,
Oh, here it comes.
here's
Here it
how I'm
comes.
taking it. I'm not kind of reviewing it by itself because it is not made to be reviewed by itself, really, because it's a tie-in of all these other characters, and because I felt like it dragged Daredevil down so much, and it just ruined a lot of the great things that Daredevil had and some of the other shows had.
Okay, as bad as Iron Fist was as it's by itself, this is the best representation of Iron Fist that we have had
I think
so
that's
far.
true, and I think to Daredevil's credit, I really do think this pulled Daredevil out of the slump that he was in, that we were getting really sick of. Like, he's going to be Daredevil now. Yeah, if he's not, I'm really pissed, and I'm totally in the boat of I hate it with you.
Yeah.
But if those things happened, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's a tough call,
I'm
man.
gonna have to give it a turd-ish. That's a 3.
Okay. No, you give it whatever you want, man.
Yeah, turd-ish really.
Stick to your guns, man.
Send your hate emails to.
Do we have to give him a Nerdbuzzed email address?
Yeah, right. We're gonna have that on there. Nerdbuzzed@intern.com.
Nice.
We
There you
that.
go.
At intern.com?
Yeah.
Intern at Nerdbuzzed.com.
Intern at Nerdbuzzed.
Intern at.
That'll be your email. I'm gonna set you up with it.
Get it?
People
Like,
can send you hate email.
Yeah, okay. Next thing, let's just. Yeah.
Let's get out of the Defenders. Hopefully, we'll be a little better here because I think you'll actually like this one.
I enjoyed it.
We'll jump to Castlevania with Netflix series, which real quick is based on Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, which came out in 1990 for the NES, and it is a prequel to the other Castlevanias.
Okay.
So starts the whole story. The game was praised for like being one of the first games where you could play as different characters in the game, and each character would have like different strengths and weaknesses. Like you'd have like your ninja guy who was fast but not strong, and you'd have like your mage who had no like health really, but lots of like distance attacks and things. So you could pick. I think it's 4 characters.
So that's what I loved about the fighting games, the Tekken games, was the fact that the characters played that way originally.
Yeah.
Tekken 3 was the
I
first
think
one
this was a lot of people rate this like in the people that rate their top 100 NES games.
Yeah.
Most people rate Dracula's Curse within the top 10 of that. So some of them are as high as like number 4.
I put Simon's Quest higher just because that's the one that I played more of.
When we
and
played
just
them for like
cracked out on.
5-10 minutes.
From what
today,
I saw, I preferred Simon's Quest.
I totally did too.
And well, I say the reason why I think I liked Simon's Quest so much is when I had my hip surgery. I was laid up in the hospital for over a week, and I had one game.
Not 2. You didn't play that other one in there?
No.
That was only Simon's Quest. You must play the other one later.
Yeah, I played the other one later, but I played Simon's Quest over and over.
I like the
and
idea of the
over
curse.
and over again.
Yeah. I liked it too with the like the time of day changes and
Yeah.
like that had to have been one of the
Dynamic
first
day-night
games
cycle.
to implement that kind
probably.
of thing. Yeah.
And how there was a town.
People
horrible night
people
to
kind of
have a
frown
curse.
upon the Simon's Quest because it's like a departure from the classic, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I
That
don't
was
remember.
the as far as my like Wikipedia looking and that type of thing. That's,
Yeah.
that's
I said
what
all I
saw.
remember is I had all my Nintendo powers with me there and had it all figured
Like your
out.
cheat books.
Oh gosh, yes. And it was like I said, I had all the ones that had to do with that game, and I totally owned it. I got to where I could beat that game in like 6 minutes.
Nice. I'm gonna go online now and look up. I'm sure there's digital Nintendo Power out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll have to do
But I
it.
had it all figured out. Buy the oak steak, get the whichever crystal it was you needed, kneel in this spot for 30 seconds, transports you to this area,
What?
and then straight to Dracula's castle. Then just as soon as he flies, throw the oak steak. Right there he is, done.
Like 30 minutes.
I could probably beat it in 10 minutes or less.
I might have to do that after this.
Wait, so you
I don't know
hit
if I can
him- you
now.
hit him once.
I don't remember.
Pressure's on.
I'm saying, I was like 8 years.
We're gonna make you walk
10
the
years old.
walk, man.
I was.
I think I can record it with my emulator.
You're that
Maybe we'll
10-year-old
record it and walk the
ADD.
walk.
You know?
Yeah, I think I was like 10
Yeah.
years old, 10 or 11 years old at the time that I did that.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been the hip surgery. That would have
I
been
was
the.
bad at games when I was a kid.
Because they were harder. They were more tough.
And like, no, I mean, but like these new ones, you know. And it sounds like he was like, the god of Castlevania.
What?
Well, again, he was
No.
in the hospital
I
and
was
had nothing
stuck
to do but play
playing that game
24 hours a day.
over and over and over again for over a
Like
week.
your mom could have probably... Could she have bought that game for as much as she spent on renting that for you?
Dude, she rented the NES.
Oh, wow.
No, wait. That was part of the pilot program. Because remember that was why I did it, because Mom rented the game, but the hospital was trying out a pilot program where they had an NES system on a cart with a TV, and they wheel it into different people's rooms and have it available for them.
And everybody hated you because it was just in your room.
I think I was the only kid that was there at the time. Who was playing it, but so I got to play the
That's pretty sweet.
NES
That is
24 hours a day with my little morphine pump, and
Does it get better? Buzzed.
very.
So, well, let's turn to the Netflix anime. Wait, can I call it that, Jack?
Yeah, you can call this one an anime.
Okay. Why? Why?
Oh,
is
well,
it totally
let's
American?
get
It's
into
just a
it.
cartoon.
What? No, it's just so anime-y, you know?
ish.
But this is
Anime-ish,
very American.
yeah.
It is very American.
Very cartoon.
I don't...
Like, what's the design?
This is
what
this
about
is so
the
much
new
more
Voltron
He-Man than it
series?
is.
I feel
Is
like
that's based on a Japanese
the
show, so
animation,
maybe
if it's more like...
this is based on a Japanese game company, so that's why it's called an anime.
I don't know, but I'm just saying it's like the feel I got from watching it was more from He-Man than from.
Really?
Kinda, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
When I think cartoons and for like America, I think Adventure Time.
Obviously grown up more, but
right? I can't
my
think
God.
of any
Nickelodeon.
adult.
You think of like Nickelodeon or Looney Tunes or
I can't think of any adult cartoons
that are
that
American.
are American. Yeah.
But I think like Afro Samurai, which is very much influenced by anime,
Yeah.
that is purely American. Like that's totally an
I feel like
American
you
show.
could almost call that an anime though.
Like I don't know. That's why we've had this discussion before. Like what actually? We're gonna have to look into
Wait,
it.
yeah, I'll
But
just
what
look it up.
defines what an anime is?
Oh, and
Yeah.
I've
Does it
been
have to be
trying
based on a manga?
I've been trying to see if I have.
no, because
that
there's-
platinum. I couldn't find it.
because there's several
Or
Way to
it
go,
won't let me
intern.
log in.
because there's several anime that we've watched that are there is no manga to base it on. There's mangas that have followed because of the anime.
Well, and then now are we talking? Now are they just
And then
classified as an anime?
I'll say then
because it's
Princess
a Japanese
Mononoke.
studio?
That was a direct to straight animated story originally.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference really is.
A style of animation originating in Japan that is characterized by stark, colorful graphics depicting vibrant characters and action film plots, often with fantastic or futuristic themes.
But that could be anything.
So or originating in Japan.
Yeah. So but I feel like the anime feel is a lot more like vibrant instead of.
It's very stylized,
Except
right?
for-
Yeah.
very actiony.
Except
Like
for
when
there are
someone punches someone-
many of them that are not though.
Yes,
There are so many that are not.
There's so many dramas and
Yeah.
you know that are or almost like rom-coms, right?
Yeah,
That
exactly.
are animes.
Yeah,
Or maybe okay. Let's just say it's Japanese. So then, if this was created in America, then it's not an
not
anime. All right.
not an anime.
I guess. I think technically it's probably not. I think
Yeah.
it's in that style though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. This is my. Can I rant now? Because I really didn't think it was all that awesome. I don't think it's that great at all. I think it has bad animation. I think there were several moments where, especially in the beginning, where like Dracula is walking into the town to be pissed for that first time, where his legs are just like moving and he's almost like moonwalking forward on the ground. They're not stepping and moving his body forward. It's just like this
yeah,
animation where he's just like sliding on the ground. Is like
Yeah.
that's not even. I mean, you only have 4 episodes. They're only 20 minutes long. You're pretty much making one movie, right?
Yeah.
Just get that part, get the pacing and the steps and stuff right.
The
I don't
literal
understand.
pacing.
Yeah. Like I didn't get that, and there were so many scenes in it that were just really pretty crappy animation. They weren't done that well. On the plus side, there were some awesome fighting animation stuff.
Yes, there
like
was.
that sweet Cyclops kick with his short sword right into his eye.
Yeah.
Where it's like all awesome with whips, and he does this sweet little spin and kicks it right into his eye. I was like,
Yeah.
I was sold. Like that was so cool. And some of the
What about the first fight with Dracula's son? That was an awesome.
that
fight.
was pretty good too. And some of the demons, when they would attack the people and like whip onto them and throw them off, and their body would tear in half, and you could see like their guts
Oh,
spill
yeah,
out
yeah.
in blood.
Violent. I
Like
love
those were done really well too. But all that stuff in between, it was like, I don't understand what they did with their time. That's what I don't get. It's like all the filler stuff that wasn't actiony, I really thought was animated pretty crappy. It was not done very
I agree.
good.
It was very Berserk style animation.
Yeah, it just like it wasn't done very clean. I thought the dialogue was garbage. I thought they're so stupid. The banter between people was so dumb. very juvenile. I wanted it to be more serious, like the fighting scenes, but there was no talking during the fighting scenes, so those were awesome, right? So I don't know. To me, it really reminded me, because I had some hype for it in my own brain, right? And it reminded me. Do you remember when HBO did the Spawn series?
No, I don't.
It's like a long time ago. I want to say like 90 something, maybe early 90s. They did a TV series that was Spawn. And I went into that thinking, this is going to be so cool. And it reminded me of this, where it's like it has moments of awesome and what I wanted the whole time, but you have to sit through so much garbage to get to those moments that it was disappointing. Like there's too much Bulma crap, right? That kind of happened. That's what I always go to, but I think it's what happened.
And she's like one of the originating characters.
Yeah.
Like episode 1.
Yeah, which I think makes it less of an anime. Because that was one of my points. It feels very American. The dialogue is garbage. That animation between those normal scenes is garbage. But then when it switches to the anime style, I do think they nailed it. And it was really cool to see those scenes. So, again, this is where I come back to that kind of like, it felt like Assassin's Creed and it felt like Defenders, where it had these moments that really sold me and I wanted the rest to be like that. But it just wasn't. It felt like a long trailer.
I think we can be clear, though, that yes, with the animes, the total story is fleshed out usually better.
Yes.
Than the American side. The American side's all about the action.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, I feel like the story can be fleshed out because most animes have like 500 episodes a season with 90,000 seasons.
Actually, it's not that many that do that. Really? There's 5 or 6 of them that are like really popular.
Is that? Yeah, I was gonna say, is that
Fairy
because
Tail.
they don't have the same popularity? Like the popularity falls off, so they quit making it.
Probably.
Yeah, I'd wondered that.
But and I think the popularity more has to do with the manga than it does with the cartoon serialization.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like Naruto.
Yeah, I mean, like the manga is just one that keeps going forever, and like with Naruto, the manga was going forever and moving along, and then they serialized it for animation. And he kind of just went on a hiatus because he was obviously popular enough they weren't going to drop him.
Yeah.
And he's just started slowly creating his story, and that's why the anime has so many episodes, is because they're putting 5, 6, 7 episodes of filler in before he wrote the next manga.
Yeah. So they had to do something that would expand the
Yeah,
characters.
they had to
Beach party.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. But you know what I'm saying, though. I mean,
Somebody's
is they had to get enough manga story backlog done, because he obviously was more tight-lipped than George R.R. Martin is with Game of Thrones about what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And had to write the next episode before it is, and I'm pretty sure that he as a writer didn't understand what his next episode was going to be until he was done writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really felt like this could have been like, if they would have left out that crap, right? They could have done 40 minutes, maybe like 2 episodes of the really cool stuff that they had in there, and made it almost more of a trailer for like, next season will be like a full season, and this is your taste of it.
I think they could have done a full 90-minute, just single 90-minute show,
Yeah.
which would be a standard movie format.
Maybe that's an issue that Netflix is running into, right? Where it's like, we want staying power. We want to leave people wanting more. So don't give them everything they want now, but at the same time, give them a season. So you have to fluff it, right? Like you got to bloat it a little bit.
And
with
I
this
think there's
crap.
a lot of stuff that's done that way too. I know you don't read,
No,
but
That literally
I
hasn't
do
read ever in
read.
his life.
Yeah, never. I've never done it. I can't read. I'm
okay. Let me rephrase this. You don't read for enjoyment.
No, I don't. Well, this is a comic. I like these
Yeah.
with pictures.
Oh, Jeremiah.
I'm talking.
Will you sit between us?
I'm
before
talking
we
like
get in a fight?
novel.
Yeah.
Novel level, not 17
No, I don't
pages.
really read books. I don't. And I think it has something to do with my attention span.
Yeah.
More than anything.
But anyway, one of my favorite series, and I have major beefs with this series, especially when they serialized it for live action and made a series of it. But it's this the Sword of Truth series, which became Legend of the Seeker.
Oh, I think I've heard it. I think your
Yeah.
dad was telling me about that. Sounds like a nerd thing. Your dad's because your dad
so
reads.
bad,
Or at
so
least
bad
he
as
used to,
live
or maybe
action.
he does.
Oh, like a show that's about okay. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
awful. The show is awful, horrible. Ugh. Anyway, books 1 and 2. He hadn't been picked up yet. He hadn't been. Yeah,
No, keep
We'll
going.
pause.
Tell me to get stopped.
but you're the one that I'm telling this to.
Okay.
No.
I'll listen.
Anyway, books 1 and 2. He hadn't picked it. No. Yeah, like I said, he obviously hasn't been picked up as his book series. He hasn't been like, hey, we need this many books, and this is what your contract's going to be, and you're going to get paid this much for it at that point in time. Because those 2 books have very, very structured central stories.
He's writing them for himself.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, it just blows into this, 5-book glut that could have all been condensed into 1 book.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, we see that you're a good writer, and we want you to write us a 10-book serialized series. This is what you're going to get. We're going to give you, I don't know, X number $1 million for 5 books or 10 books or whatever it is. And he's like, oh, but I have enough story. You're right. I'll get you 10 books. And he did. He wrote 10 books of ass.
Just Can you buy the Cliff Notes? Would they be
No.
better?
You can't. I would totally read it as a Cliff Notes, but I read the whole series. I waited for each book. I bought each book as it came out.
And you read them all?
I read them all.
It wasn't worth it, clearly.
Buy books 1 and 2, read parts of 3, and then read the last one.
Really? That's how I feel about Game
That
of Thrones.
much.
You just described Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones for just a second?
We have to finish up
Yeah,
Castlevania.
okay,
We can throw that in at the end.
We're at like an hour. But
Yep.
I'll have a quick thing about Game of Thrones.
It's our show. Screw them.
Like and subscribe.
If we want to, I think the best way, and again, it goes with the same theme of everything, is that I really feel like Castlevania was this weird abridged thing. It's only the whole total of it all is what 80 minutes.
Yeah.
4 20-minute. It wasn't very long at all. It got such high praise from all these people that it was just amazing.
Was it were they only 20-minute episodes?
Each one was 20 minutes. There's only 4 episodes.
Oh, well, then they could have easily done it in an hour.
Right? Easily.
Yeah.
Easily they could have had it be in an hour. It didn't need all that filler garbage that was in there. I think that now that they've released it the way they have, which I think is a glorified trailer, is what this series is. It doesn't end with this climactic resolution to anything. They still haven't even fought Dracula, right?
No.
Like, all that stuff is still to come. I think there's so much pressure on Defenders, on, I think, Assassin's Creed we've given up on because they're just going to keep making turds. But that's what Ubisoft does. And I swear the company at Ubisoft is like, they have this like suggestion box and they just pull out like 10 things, mash them together and create this game turd, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens there. So they're garbage. We don't care about them. But I think Defenders and Castlevania are very similar in that the way that they handled what they did put so much pressure on themselves to make something that's so much better for this next series. Like, there's a lot of pressure on on Daredevil, on Punisher, on Jessica, all these next shows. They have to step it up now because they've gone down so far. And I think Castlevania, there's so much pressure on his season 2, which gets, how many episodes is he already signed up for? It's a lot, isn't it?
Isn't it 2 seasons of 8 episodes?
Which now we're doubling what it is, which I already think it could have been cut in half. So if you're just going to stretch out garbage to double your episodes, that's not cool. And you're going to make a really crappy show. There's a lot of pressure on this guy to do it right now because you've teased us. Nobody feels like they got out of it.
I feel like the lore. I was actually really interested in the lore of like the church and Dracula, and more about what the past Belmonts did. Like I like hearing about that, but I really like Dracula and just how, I don't know, like why his castle is like that, like what he has lived through.
Yeah. I did think it was underwhelming how easily he was like wooed by that chick though. That just like stood up to him.
The thing is that it didn't show, and it would have been a lot better if they would have showed that, or if they had that season was just Dracula and just him getting to that point. I feel like that would have been a lot better.
I totally agree. Like if the last episode would have been Belmont in the bar and like he would have had that little confrontation with the people and he would have established himself as Trevor
or the
Belmont,
last episode
and then it could have just like ended almost.
Was just like
and they
Dracula raining blood. That was you said you didn't like the walking animation, but I really like the animation when he gets on fire. Like it's like, whoa,
yeah.
geez.
See, that's like one of the things I didn't like.
Really?
Yeah.
It was so cool. It was like, it's terrifying. And I like the church guy.
I thought it was cheesy.
wish he wouldn't have died. I like that character, the priest
or
whatever.
There were so many parts in it when I thought, who directed this part? And then who directed this part? Like they're almost like two totally different people. And I didn't understand how it blended together. It was fine. I think there's a lot of pressure to get season 2 right now because I don't think he did anything groundbreaking. I don't think this is anything we haven't seen before. And it needs to establish itself more as like this unique thing instead of just being, it almost felt a little cookie cutter for me.
Yeah, a little bit. But I think the groundbreaking ish part of it is the fact that they're bringing something from our childhood
Yeah.
to life.
I would agree with that.
And that's what it is. So,
And
I mean,
again,
it's
it's
something
that-
that like I said, I have a personal connection to.
Yeah.
Not particularly this story as much, even though I played this one quite a bit. It was Simon's Quest, obviously, that I played far more, and sticks with me now.
Yeah.
But
Well, and I think this all speaks to the huge nerd movement. It does, right? Like, if it wasn't for all this other popular nerd stuff going on, we would not have gotten this Castlevania show.
And
No.
if this
No
show gets
way.
right, what'll be the next show, right?
Oh, it'd be cool, right? And I do think, as far as NES games translated to a show, this is done pretty well,
Yeah.
right? Like, how many other Nintendo game shows have you seen where
And
you're like,
Pokemon-
that's done so well, whatever?
Pokemon's.
That was
Yeah,
a
I was like-
show translated
and-
to a game, but like
Oh,
there was
what?
like the Zelda,
yeah.
like the Zelda crappy series,
Excuse
the like
me,
the Mario
princess.
Brothers series, which like they weren't as cool.
Yeah.
you know.
or okay, so how like we were talking about right there though with when we were just talking in the beginning, how they're giving through the description as they're going. This is bad, and that was as far as their description went
Yeah.
Oh,
at the beginning of the game.
yeah. So we were
Yeah.
watching. I'll rephrase it. We were watching the opening cutscene of what was it, 3 or was it?
It was 3.
It was 3, and it was like Dracula came and the world was good, but he made it bad because
Yeah.
he is a bad guy. And it was just
Yes.
like they didn't. All they used was good and bad, and it was so funny to watch them. Like they're like, we need a story for the game. Dracula's bad and the world is good, but now it's bad, and you got to save it. So that it
Do you
becomes good
realize
again.
though we were 6 and 7 years old when this happened?
Well, and I think a
yeah.
lot of those, because you have to remember these are Japanese games. So
And
we're
it's the
getting
ra-
these
it's-
horrible translations.
Exactly,
Right?
yes.
That's what a lot of that is. There used to be, like, when you would read Nintendo Power sometimes, or even, like, in
Oh,
video
yeah.
games, where it didn't even make sense when you read the dialogue because the translation was that
That bad.
bad. So I actually kind of, when I read it that way, it reminded me of Beanie Kid. I kind of
Yeah.
like that,
Do
actually.
you envision it like the show where it's like Dracula's on fire, he's killing everyone?
This was way more American trying to do what like a Japanese game originally did. To me, it felt so much more American. I think He-Man or almost like Thundercats or like it had that Americanized kind of
Yeah,
feel to
well,
it.
that's what I was comparing it to when I was watching it. So
They were
Yeah.
giving life lessons at the end, though. Like, always stay indoors. That's what He-Man would do.
Yeah,
like,
totally,
don't go
right?
in the woods.
And
That's
nobody
G.I.
is
Joe.
half the battle. I think He-Man did it too, didn't he?
He
At
might
the
have.
end of it, him and
Yeah.
Orko.
Yeah,
it was always the
that's
Orko
right. Yep.
lesson. Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Don't trust strangers.
Yeah, right.
Something like that.
I remember the worst one. I think it was G.I. Joe. Was they had this? Oh God, what was it? It was like at the dump, right? Like this big garbage site, and these kids were playing, and one kid's playing in a fridge, and he went into the fridge, and like G.I. Joe comes in, he opens them up, and he's like, "You could get stuck in there, kids. Don't play around garbage sites." And I was like, "No crap, Sergeant Slaughter. Come on." Give us a break. This is like my 50th episode of G.I. Joe. I know not to do that.
Cobra could be there.
Yeah, right? It's like they always had
Cobra
these
Commander.
terrible lessons
Yeah.
at the end. It was pretty good. And always don't do drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was always
So,
they drove that home.
what do you rate Castlevania? Stick it in the table.
I'm going to say I really think it might be my least favorite because again it doesn't have anything that lifted it up originally, right? Like to me it's kind of starting kind of low. So I'm just going to give it a 5-5.
That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two okay.
I got the impression you liked it more than me.
I did like it more than you, I think.
Hearing what you said.
Oh, I ruined it for you.
No,
I do that for everybody.
I was like a 7, but now I'm gonna do it a 6. It's better than okay. But I really like the action scenes. I liked the lore of it.
Yeah. I just don't want these shows, like even the Defenders and the Castlevania, I don't want them to ride on that. Like it needs to have substance other than just action, right? Like the Defenders needs that too. Like it has some awesome stylized stuff in it, but it needs substance too. Like that's not enough to hold it all together.
Yeah, not really, because it's not meant to be like that.
No, it actually needs like good story and good plot and good characters and like develop them more, and along with kick-ass action. So it's a tough balance to do.
I was gonna say one of my favorite movies, The Raid 2, is more action, but it does have some pretty good substance. So I agree.
Yeah, it's a tough balancing act.
Yeah,
it totally is. And I was gonna dabble on some Death Note a little bit, but I kind of think we're running long.
Yeah.
So let's
I
say
have a quick thing to say.
you do. Say it. Go ahead. Say it.
Okay, so since it's the end of the episode, can I talk about Game of Thrones?
Okay, yeah. Bring up Game of
Okay,
Thrones.
so Marcus is always like, "Oh man, when are they gonna fight the White Walkers? When is that gonna
Yes.
happen?" Okay, next season, Marcus. They finally they broke through the wall. They have a dragon. They have a
Yes,
White
the White
Walker
Walkers have the dragon.
Blue eyes, white dragon. But
Spoiler
like,
alert,
actually-
by the way, to
yeah.
all these people that have not watched the final episode, which aired yesterday.
Yeah, well, it'll probably go up. This will go up in like 10 weeks. Yeah, spoiler alert. Maybe just do like a big.
Yeah, thanks. More work for me,
Yeah.
Jack.
Whatever.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I can do it. Whatever. But okay.
But to be clear, they got the dragon 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, but this is all to my point. None of this stuff with the White
finally
Walkers.
did it.
Yeah, but we're one season away from the last season.
The last season's gonna be it. Yeah, because you can't.
I knew
end-
that though from the very beginning.
You have to end with that. You can't end with, oh, they killed all the White Walkers and now the world is at peace.
Oh, they
No.
could have had like 3 seasons of this awesome White Walker battle, and which is what we wanted the whole time.
Yeah, but the thing is, the battle's gonna be so like intense that everyone's gonna. Like,
it better
die.
be the whole goddamn season.
Oh, this. In almost every episode, you watched it, right? In almost every episode, there's a giant battle.
Yes, there has been.
Yeah.
It's the second to last season. It better be. I don't see why this is arguing with anything. What season are they on now? This is season 7.
They just finished 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on season 8.
So from season 1, which I will argue till I die that season 1 of Game of Thrones is one of the best first seasons I've ever seen in my life. That first season is so good. It shocks you. It's got awesome character development. It's really, really good. Season 3, it becomes garbage. And I don't care after season 3. It took 3 more seasons of Bulma episodes to get to the part for them to go Super Saiyan.
Can't even listen.
I would say, yeah, I have to totally disagree with that.
That's how I felt
Season
about it.
6 was probably one of my favorites, but season 7 was good for
I like
action.
season 5.
Not good for plot.
I like season 5 because it wrapped up a lot of stories, and a lot of people I wanted to see did actually die.
Who died? In season, who died in season 5?
Wasn't that when Ramsay died?
No, that was season 6.
Was it?
Yeah, the Battle of the Bastards.
Okay.
When he takes back.
Okay, well, I take
Winterfell.
that back. Season 6.
Yeah, yeah. Ramsay died. That's all that matters. But no, and in this season, like none of the big characters died, which I was kind of bummed about. I really wanted, like, as much as I don't want it to happen. I wanted
Dude,
Jon
one guy
Snow
that
to
I wanted to die the entire time finally did.
Oh, Baelish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was bound to happen.
Yeah, I know. And I'm so glad it happened the way it did.
Yeah, which Arya
It was
comes
just
up and-
so...
So if I binge watch Game of
Oh,
Thrones,
do it.
because I can do it now,
Do it.
and then we get our final season, should we sit down and have a real full-on review
Yes.
of what Game of Thrones is
Yes.
really about?
I like
I
that. idea.
will do it. I will, which is saying something. I want you to realize that I'm willing to sit
Historical
through
moment.
so many Bulma episodes.
Oh, don't even say that.
Dragon Bulma. I'm gonna watch Dragon Bulma. And if she doesn't go Super Saiyan by the end, I would be so pissed.
A dragon goes. What do you think it shoots out? Is it fire? Or is it like?
It's definitely fire.
It didn't steam the wall though, which I thought was weird.
Oh, now you're getting all picky about it again.
Well, no, but I was thinking since it's a White Walker dragon,
We're back
it
to
was
the
ice.
we're back
blue
to
fire,
Heat
so it's
Wave
gotta be
and,
hotter.
Captain Cold's guns.
Yeah. Oh, because maybe I heard someone say maybe because it's the White Walker, it's impervious. Or maybe because it's a dragon, it's still impervious to fire, even though it's a White Walker, a white flyer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it, you guys.
Blue eyes white dragon. That was the funniest thing I've ever
Yes,
seen.
that was hilarious.
I'm gonna do it, and I
Do
want
it.
you to know I'm gonna do it for all the nerds out there, all you guys, and you two right here.
All right, thanks.
We're gonna get
So
together,
special.
and my wife's gonna watch it again, which I'm sure she will be fine
Oh
with.
yeah.
Because she loves it. And so I've seen, every season I've seen random episodes here and there. And every time I do, I feel like, yeah, this is just like the episode I left off on 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, until there's like a guy getting his eyes gouged out, his head explodes.
Yeah, I mean, those are okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. Again, it's that
I'm
weird,
still
it's
pissed
that
about that.
balancing act.
I know. That was my favorite. I'd watch it sometimes. It looks so real, so disgusting. Just the crunch and the teeth and the
I guess if we're not going to talk about Death Note, can we at least say watch the anime instead of the movie? Do you at least agree with me
Yeah.
on that?
Sorry, I wasted
watch,
so much time.
Watch the anime. Yeah.
I do got to say that, but
You can talk about it.
I liked William Dafoe.
I loved William Dafoe, and
Who is he?
we'll talk about this another time.
Yeah.
We'll
cover
dive
that
into
book.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
And but for next month, we're not going to call it an anime. We're going to call it a cartoon because it's very American.
Yeah.
But we're going to watch Futurama, which is already one of my absolute favorite cartoons in the world. And Emily, who's been on the show with us a couple times.
Oh, okay.
She is the one that inspired this. She sent me a message. It was like, "Where the hell is the Nerdbuzzed Futurama episode?" And I said, "I don't know. You must have it. Will you please bring it to the table?" And she's going to do it. So this next month, there's a lot of episodes to watch. There's no way I'm going to watch all of it. But I say pick and choose your favorite ones.
Yeah.
I'll try to bring some of my favorite ones to the table.
Or maybe like a top 5.
Yeah, let's do it. And then
that.
we'll find our favorites, bring them to the table, recommend them to people. If you have favorites, recommend them to me. I'd love to share other people's favorites too. But Futurama next month. And so also, you want to dive into it? I want to steal your thunder.
Oh,
Next episode. What's our brew, Jay?
Sir Meadery.
Thank you. I needed you to do it because I can't say it. It's
hard to
Which you're
pronounce.
going to find out when you watch the episode.
Yes, and if you ever hear him say it again, he still can't say it.
I can't say it, which I feel bad because I love the place. I love Eric so much. It was so cool to hang out with him.
Yeah.
One of the coolest parts is it's our first on location episode.
It is. It's our first on location episode. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, and it was the first on location where Jack was actually the intern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and spot what it was the after party. When the after party comes up, try and spot.
When the bum shows up?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say? Yeah, that was pretty
That was
funny.
hilarious.
That was pretty funny. You were hilarious. I loved looking at you and you just kind of going,
No, I didn't. I was like,
that was my
gotta
favorite.
leave, man.
Go, just go away. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Try and spot it. Who knows?
say it for me.
That's Sir.
Matery is awesome. I really, really recommend it to everybody. Whenever we drink
Sit,
beer,
beg, bark.
yeah. Whenever we drink beer, I think the word I always come to that are my favorite beers is well-rounded.
Yes.
And as far as mead, which I have a limited experience
We all have a fairly
with,
limited exposure because
He
it's not,
knew
it's
a lot.
not
I
a
was-
main.
I actually really like listening to.
well,
him
that's
talk
his
about
wheelhouse for sure,
Yeah.
right? But I haven't been exposed to a lot of mead, but it's all balanced so well. I really enjoy drinking Eric's mead that he makes, and he, in my opinion, he totally is a mead master.
Oh,
He
totally.
knows what he's doing, and he does it really well.
Incredibly talented. Everything he does, it like I said, it's well balanced, and it's well balanced to what it is.
Yes, you can tell he had a vision, and he achieved what his vision was.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do with the probably 60 to 70 pounds of plums I just got him.
Oh, awesome! Cool.
So
Next episode, please check it out. We'll be live, or not live. We were live on
were
location.
live,
we
yeah.
on
We
location.
were live.
This is live right now.
It is live right now.
Except
I
for
don't
when you guys
usually edit it out.
get it. So
Yeah.
weird.
And I guess because we have some other guests and some other pretty cool episodes for this next coming month, which is September, right? I'm getting my months mixed up.
It's usually what follows August.
Yeah, thank you. Every year?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time. They also, real quick, what we're going to get for, because I don't know if we'll be able to do it during these episodes, Life is Strange, Before the Storm, episode 1, which is like this follow-up to it, which I
Okay.
thought was worth noting because we really
I did like
enjoyed
it
Life is
a lot.
Strange. So there's a new episodes coming out for it. Destiny 2, which I'm very whatever, but people love it. So for you guys out there, it's coming out. I know you already know. And Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which I'm actually kind of excited for.
I played them.
Nice.
They're fun. Even just to pick them up and play, they're so fun.
They are.
The versus
Flashy,
the
yeah.
Capcom. That's why I'm going to hold off, and I'm just going to get this Dragon Ball Fighter Z game because I think it looks like Marvel vs. Capcom reskinned with
Yeah,
Z
it
fighters.
kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of that. Where
Yeah.
they like switch in really fast and it'll just be, I don't know.
I'm stoked for
crazy.
it.
Yeah.
So I think I might save my money for that. But anyway, I think that's what you got to dive into. Please again, like, share, and subscribe.
10 billion likes. Let's go.
I think that minimum, right? 10
Yeah.
billion.
Exactly.
10 billion.
I think it's good to start at a real humbled,
Yeah.
understandable baseline. So 10 billion would be great. Something, easy to do. And baby steps.
Yes.
So please do that. Share, tell all your friends. And if you want to sport around and help sponsor us, please go to patreon.com/nerdbuzz for $35 or more. I emphasize or
Give
more.
us all your money.
Yes.
Just empty it.
You could, if you do, I will totally give you a big shout out on the show. You can get a Nerdbuzzed t-shirt plus some stickers and a really killer magnet that'll look amazing on your car.
Does.
So do it, people. So on that note, oh wait, we need to throw a
review
score on our beer. Look at how
waiting for
ahead
that.
of myself I'm getting. So I think as this warmed up, it got more earthy flavors
Yes,
that
it
came
did.
out of it. Did you notice that?
Very much so.
Could you taste the kind of like snap pea, green bean? It's almost like this just earthy, like a green vegetable you pulled off the vine. Or
Yeah, I was definitely getting an earthy tone. I don't think I could assign any specific vegetable to it.
Have you? Maybe the question is, have you ever tasted that in a beer before, like that?
Not like this one.
Yeah,
I've gotten earthy tones from beers before, but not quite like this one.
yeah. That's what I noticed about
Yeah.
it, and I actually really kind of enjoyed it about it.
It is. I'm actually really enjoying it a lot.
Nice, I did good. I did good.
You did it. Proud of you.
You'll get to drink beer with us someday, Jack.
Someday. Mine. This one was really good. It did kind of have like the mildest minty, aka kind of toothpastey, just a little bit aftertaste, but it worked well for it. I like this one a lot. It's what? Oh yeah, Soda Boy, caramel. I thought it said orange cream. I was gonna say it tastes so much like caramel. And it's really good. That explains everything. Yeah,
Jack just blew his own mind.
yeah,
I love it.
It was really caramely, and it worked well for it.
Nice.
I had
Would you get them both again? Would they go in your
Yeah.
root beer fridge?
Yeah.
That's the question we always see.
had,
from
had a
beer.
really earthy taste, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like a dirt and worms.
Nice.
Yes, it's great. I love
I'm
it.
just copying
Yeah.
it.
I'm thinking more decaying bark and beetles, but whatever.
Yeah.
Ancient mushroom.
Oh,
Oh,
that's very
there you
earthy.
go, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you give it then? What do you give your root beers? Are you gonna lay a score on them?
7, 8.
7, 8.
Yeah, 7 for the sarsaparilla and 8 for the thing. But
Wow, I'm
although it
surprised
is-
that this didn't get like at least a 7.25 because you clearly
Oh,
enjoy
I can-
saying the name.
Oh, okay. 7.5. I didn't know I could do the points.
Yeah, that's what my 5.5 was, by the way, not just a 5.
Oh,
I wasn't
5.
just stuttering.
Whoa. No, but this one, it does make my throat grumble a little bit. My stomach grumble a little bit.
Well, you did just drink another bottle of sugar water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys do?
So, I actually really do enjoy this beer. I'm gonna be pretty firm on saying it's not my favorite beer that I've ever had, but I love that it's not really emulating other beers that are out. I love that it's doing its own thing. It's like making its own footprint, which I really
Yeah.
appreciated, and it is different, and it is still good. So to me, that gets huge points. Everybody knows, if you've ever listened to an episode, I'm a really big fan of something that is different but still good.
Yes.
Right? And so it really gets a lot of points for me from that. So I'm going to actually give this one I think it deserves a solid 8. I
Wow.
really do think it is great. I would totally get this beer again.
Nice. I was going to go do a 7.5 on it because thinking you were going to go lower.
Really? Wow. But don't base yours on mine.
No, I was seriously thinking you were going to give it a lower score the way
No,
you did, but
I love that it's so different because it really is. I've never
Yeah.
tasted a beer that it really is such an IPA, but it has such qualities that I've just not really tasted in any other beer before.
yeah. I'm liking it. I like it a lot. This is definitely one that I think is worthy of my beer fridge.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And I think this is definitely a GTA Tuesday beer.
Yeah, it's got appropriate numbers. Like the numbers are really in that range of what they should be.
I'm not big on big beers. You know this.
Yeah.
And this one, it's smooth. It's easy to drink. It's got a myriad of flavors that you can just cover with what's going on. I mean, you've got the citrus, you've got the grassy notes, you've got the earthy notes. For you, snap peas or whatever, it's sweet. It is sweet,
Yeah.
but it's so well balanced, and the sweet works with everything that it is.
Yeah.
My only complaint about it is it does have a very kind of just lingering aftertaste that just makes you want to have another drink to get rid of that aftertaste, which is not a totally bad thing, but I don't think it's something that particularly makes it is a major plus for me anyway.
Yeah.
I want something that finishes clean, and when I'm done with it, I can be done with it.
Yeah.
So,
That's where the
that's probably where the
0.5
0.5 off comes from.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I love this beer. It's good.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that I brought something to the table that you. I mean, you still considered it good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. I totally recommend it to people again because it's different, which I love. I love experiencing new things that revolve around something I enjoy.
Yes, it's unique.
Yes, very. So let's do it one last time.
Yes.
To all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
bottoms up. Let's get nerd buzz.
But I do.
Talking about
No, you can't. Go
beer.
for it. Knock yourself out.
Talking about nerd culture. You're on
Like, share, and subscribe.
Nerdbuzzed.
To be a best friend. We love you.
Marcus and Jeremiah. You're on Nerdbuzzed. Let's get Nerdbuzzed.